Then you can see. I saw the.
What is going on? Welcome to the first round here at our Blitz Armory. This is super exciting. I haven't had Blitz in a long time. Fireshot live already in the chat saying two of my favorite heroes, bolters and bucklers, are unique choices, but having to pitch for Valda definitely seems bad. Yeah, I totally that was my first thought when I saw let me turn the music down a little bit more. That was my first thought when I saw the buckler instead of like a ram's head. But definitely having to pitch for the ram's head is not great. So definitely interesting to see here. We have Kasai on the left hand side and we have Valda already. Still, you know, one of the interesting things about these two heroes definitely is how tanky they are. Both of these heroes have a lot of armor. You have 2 block on the skull cap for, let's go on Valda's side here. We see it's skull cap with 2 armor and battle worn. We see a Earthlore bounty with 2 armor and temper, and then we see the Crater Fist with 2 armor and temper, and then we of course have the buckler as well, with of course 1 damage block and blade break. And then on Kasai's side of the field, we have the chest piece with 2 and temper. We have the gloves with 2 and battle worn, very similar, and then of course the same helmet with 2 and battle worn. So definitely 2 very tanky heroes, 2 kind of old school, just big attack heroes. So I'm also a fan of snaps too. E-strike to draw a card, making a surge, and then go again is nice. Yeah, oh, that sounds pretty filthy. Yeah, definitely funny. Kind of, you don't really think of Guardians wearing Snapdragon Scalers too much. But here we see that Kasai is going to pitch for a Driving Blade. I really like Driving Blade in Kasai because that second swing is always free. So just a blue, or normally Driving Blade with other heroes would be, other warriors would be kind of not great, or at least Dorinthia. Specifically because the second swing on Kasai being free like really helps. So we actually see that Michael choosing to block with his chest piece really early here. And then of course another weapon swing here from Kasai's side of the field to go again off the Driving Blade, and the free weapon swing. That's kind of what I was talking about. He did have to pitch an extra card. Specifically because he only had a yellow to pitch early on. So then we actually see him play out the glint into a Nourishing Emptiness, 6 with Dominate. Nourishing Emptiness, a really interesting card out of Monarch, says if you have no attack action cards in your graveyard, then it actually gains Dominate and +1 Intellect if it hits. So it's really interesting to see. Michael already chose to use this chess piece on one of the weapon swings. Looks like he might be taking the entire hit. Yep, going to 15 there. That will make Nick go up to 5 Intellect. So a 5-card hand going into his next turn. Even though he doesn't get to Arsenal, he got a lot of damage in. Got the extra card anyway, so going to be interesting to see what he does on his next turn. Now let's see what Michael can do to respond. We see the Art of War. Art of War is a really interesting tech in Valda. Going to make a lot of, basically 2 of those Seismic Surges. Or actually won't actually make any Seismic Surges off the Earthlore Bounty because it's not an action card. I'd personally like to see Crown of Providence in Valda for the more consistent block since Valda starts at higher level. Yeah, that's actually a good point. If you think you're going to be kind of putting the pressure on and you think you're going to be the one in higher life, then Skullcap is a little bit less valuable. I think I see another Art of War in Michael's hand. And a Pursuit of Knowledge. The Pursuit of Knowledge is an interesting tech. I mean, both these players are playing cards that increase their intellect. Just more cards, I guess. That probably really helps against aggro heroes. Just giving you another card to block with and maybe still answer some of these more aggressive decks. So we just see the Pursuit of Knowledge coming in for 4 damage. Pursuit of Knowledge, again, just like Nourishing Emptiness, will give an intellect on hit. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the same effect like Dominate that we would see on the Nourishing Emptiness. Nick choosing to keep his hand. It's actually, and then Michael actually has the pummel, bumping it up to 8 damage. He will get the extra intellect, and he will actually knock a card out of Nick's hand. So that extra intellect kind of coming in clutch here. You know, you're going to lose. It's really funny. Like, Nick went up to 5 intellect, going to lose a card, go back down to 4. So you kind of has to go back down to a fair health or intellect value in a way. And then Michael's actually going to bump his intellect up to 5 because of the Pursuit of Knowledge. Library just saying, look what they have to do to mimic a fraction of my power. Another interesting choice we see on on Nick's side of the field is actually the fact that he went with the Refraction Bolters and not the Valiant Dynamo. I'm actually a much bigger fan of Valiant Dynamo in Kasai, especially against other physical heroes, because against other physical heroes, you're just going to get a lot more use out of it. You're going to swing those sabers like basically every turn, so you just get a lot of block value out of it, and that one extra defense every turn can probably be the difference between getting crushed or not on certain effects. Wow, we see a super pumped up. Yeah, this is super pumped up. We see a 3, 6, 9 into weapon swing would actually be 11 damage, I believe, here. With Go again. I suppose you don't rely on the Dynamo as much since the hammer is consistent at being 4 damage. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I was just more worried about things that like actually like can kind of hurt you, like anything that can get you to like less crush range, right, on a reliable basis. Sometimes that extra 1 point of damage, you're typically on Kasai, you're trying to grind them a little bit more. It's less of an explosive deck. You do have the big blood on our hands turn, but Sometimes that is a blowout turn, but I think typically you're trying to grind them a lot. And usually the blood on our hands can give them go again anyway. So that was just my thought. I think it's definitely not a wrong decision to pick refraction bolters. I just think typically if it were me, I'd go for the grind out. I'm personally a fan of Dynamo and Kasai as well. The only time it sides out is against Kano. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything gets sided out against Kano except maybe the chess piece, right? We're trying to... I've even seen, like, weird, like, they play Lantern trying to, like, just, like, out-survive the Kano's damage. So yeah, it looks like this is a 9 damage attack go again. And of course, if you block with attacks from your hand, this gets even more buffed. And Valda kind of looking a little not excited about this one, really having to decide what cards you want to have to give up. You can't really, you know, only 21 life. You know, she does get that little health bonus, but at 21 life, it's not too much higher than 20. It's not so bad, like, compared to, like, Kano starting at 15. Like, that's a truly feelable... you really feel that difference, whereas opposed to 21 to 20, I mean, in a way, sometimes that's bad because, like, you turn on things like against aggressive decks, you turn on, like, Scar for a Scar right away, things like that. Some decks are even playing Life for Life in Blitz just to get an edge, and you kind of turn that on right away, too, as far as having go again. But again, we're just seeing if how Michael chooses to block here. He does decide to block with 2 cards here. One, they are attacks, so he is gonna buff the attack by 1, and then the second sword swing comes in. We're gonna make some coppers. We're already at 5 coppers, so Blood on Our Hands is actually pretty live here. Blood on Our Hands is super good specialization that Kasai got in Everfest that's able to, like, just really pump out a lot of damage. Yeah, Iris seems to play Life for Life more often, and Briar tends to rely on Scar. Yeah, I think Life for a Life, I think if you're in a deck that doesn't mind pitching, Life for a Life is very strong. Even if it doesn't have Go Again, you can usually just throw it out at the end of a combo chain just for a 1-for-4 gain a life on hit. It can swing a matchup, especially when the life totals are so low. Sometimes that extra point of life can just be enough to live. To give you an extra turn, to buy you that, like, comeback turn. So here we're going to see a Coax a Commotion actually hit for 1. And now Michael has a decision to make. Do I want to have us both gain a life? Do I want to have us both gain a Quicken token? We are both going to get a Quicken token. Are we going to both draw a card? We are both going to draw a card. And we both gained a life. All 3 modes. We're having fun over here at this Armory. You got all 3 modes. Oh yeah, and it is an action card, so we are gonna gain. That's another interesting thing. So we drew some cards, so we're gonna gain some Seismic Surge tokens. That's a pretty fun interaction there, absolutely. Because I believe the Earthlore Bounty says you gain a Seismic Surge on whenever a player draws a card in their action phase. And so you make both players draw a card, you get 2 Seismic Surge tokens. You do give the other player a card. They got to block 3 free damage. I had it in my original Benji list, but UPR gave him a lot of solid additions. Oh yeah, Uprising I think makes Benji really silly in Blitz. I've heard some, like, crazy unblockable Salt the Wound, crazy shenanigans, double strike, just keep going turns. We actually see a This Round's on Me. This Round's on Me is a pretty fun card. Gonna also make some Seismic Surges because of, again, the Earthlore Bounty. Then also make all of Nick's attacks on his side of the field that target Michael attack for 1 less. Makes sabers a little more, or a little less threatening. Oh, and we're actually going to see the disable here. Disable is a really interesting card. I mean, right now it's not so good. I believe that's the one that if it crushes your arsenal would go underneath your deck. You pretty much tuck your arsenal. But right now it's just damage. Double strike is disgusting in Benji with Shuko. Players just have a mindful to not double up on it with the Benji buff to allow hand blocks. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Because if you Benji buff it and Shuko buff it, then it becomes a 3, so you can block, which you don't want to do. Oh wow, and so Nick did not even have to play a card that gave go again. He was able to just block or just swing the saber. It already had go again from the quicken token. We see Michael's gonna block with a E-strike and the rest of his gloves, blocking 4. That would bump the saber up to 5. Looks like he's gonna a little think about that one again, because then you're still letting the saber hit at that point. And if your goal is to not let the saber hit, that doesn't really fix that problem. Yep, now we see a... Wow, he's going to actually use up his Earthlore bounty. I believe that's all of the Earthlore bounty. Then we actually have the Alpha Blood that's going to bump this to 6. Yeah, blocking with bounty is kind of that's a big one. That's a lot of the deck, right? That's pretty much how the deck functions. We do still have the 4 seismic surges going into our next turn. Maybe Michael just thinks he has enough, some big attack that he can just swing into him. I'd have preferred to offer Buckler there. Yeah, probably. Now we're just offering Buckler on just the next weapon swing. Still looks like it's going to get in for 1. No, we're just going to block with... We're going to start over blocking here. We're blocking with a E-strike, knocking it up to 3, and then also the helmet and our Buckler. And we're still going to get in with an Out for Blood, bumping this up to 6. Still hits. Going to make some coppers. Go up to 7 coppers. Now, I'm pretty sure Nick's just... He's like, where is this blood on her hands? I need a blood on her hands. Any moment here could probably just win the game. Got my 9 coppers ready to go. Oh, I think I actually see the blood on her hands on Nick's side of the field. However, Michael does have an attack that's pretty devastating. We have a Spinal Crush. Spinal Crush says if this attack does 4 or more damage, it will crush you, which means you do not get go again, cannot gain go again, loses go again, no go again for you. So that is a huge attack on Michael's side of the field to throw at Nick right at the blood on her hands turn. He has the copper ready and waiting. This could actually be pretty good, but again, it's not a blood on her hands. It was just a, I think it's that new card. I think it's like Swing Through, something like that. So, it was a red, out for blood, and then he also blocked with an attack, so that would make it go up by 4, and then it was also buffed by 1. So, from the the warrior card that buffs the second attack. So. Oh yeah, run through. Thank you. So looking at Nick's side of the field, doesn't really have a whole lot going on at this point. Yeah, he missed. He blocked with an E strike, bumping it up by 1 for sure. So. Yeah, so he has to explain that Spinal Crush. Unfortunately, it removes attack go again on everything. So if he played even that non-attack action, that would not have go again. So I think we're just gonna see a Saber swing here for 2. Yep, that's all we're gonna see. This cannot get go again. Could get buffed to 3 if he decides to block with an attack. He's going to block with a Sift. Now, Sift is an interesting card. It does actually block for 3 on a non-attack action, so it's not going to let the sword get buffed at all. So Michael actually did buy himself a turn. We might actually see Michael kind of put this game not away, but he does pick go again on the E strike. This is going to force some blocks. Nick does not have any armor that he wants to block with. I mean, he does have the helmet and he does have the chest piece, but I'm pretty sure he wants to save that chest piece for a Blood on Our Hands turn. Yeah, this is not looking good on Nick's side of the field. I mean, that E strike for 5 and go again, and you gotta think at least another hammer swing's coming out. And the hammer, even if it's not buffed, which it probably will be, is still coming in for lethal. It's gonna require another card out of his hand. Something that Nick could do is block with 1 card here, go to 1, then block with 1 more card. But that's a really bad place that you don't want to be in case Michael has any way to get dominated on something. Now, typically, without Bravo, there aren't too many cards that give dominate. I mean, there's Thump. I don't know if Michael's running Thump. I don't see a lot of buffs, so probably not. But you do have to be cognizant of that if you get dominated, you're probably losing the game at 1. Yep, and that's exactly what we're going to see. And then we're probably just going to see a 1-card block, take 1, go to 1. Now, if you're on Nick's side of the field, you better have a good turn. I think I see the Blood on Our Hands. Is that... No, that's still... Never mind. That's still just the run through from the other turn. I see the yellow color strip, and I'm like, there it is. That has to be it. But let's see if Nick can put together a turn here that actually can, put on some pressure. We do see he's going to crack the courage. Got to get some kind of tempo here, and that's one way to do it. If you're on Michael's side of the field, you got to be worried about blocking from your hand, turning on all those reprise effects. And we're just going to see the Blade Runner coming in. Blade Runner going to make the next attack have... Well, this attack have go again. The next attack, the next sword swing is going to get +3. Yep, and then we're going to probably just swing the Saber for 5. Oh, and then we actually have a... What is this? Run through, I think. I think this actually buffs it by 1. Or, I'm sorry, buffs it by 3 and gives it dominate. So, yeah, so he's saying it's coming in for 8. If you block with an attack, it's actually going to be 9. Which I think is actually going to be game. Oh, actually, he is going to live by 1 because... Wow, he had the non-attack action that actually blocked for 3. The Sift that I was talking about. Yeah, so... We are going to make another copper. This is crazy. Push forward for dominate sick, but is able to live with 1 health. We are going to swing the weapon. Still going to get a card out of Nick's hand. This has been a great back and forth. I still don't see the blood on our hands on Nick's side of the field. I think he had to pitch one early, and I think that's what we're seeing is that he's just not able to find that other one. 90% vegan. Yes, nice sift. I love it. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're just doing some awesome Blitz action today. Having a good time. This has been a great round 1. I'm really excited to have these two on here. Kasai and Evalda. You don't see this every day. So, well, Kasai is pretty good. I consider like kind of like tier 2. Maybe like 1.5-ish. But Evalda I just don't really see a lot of. Gonna have to give up 2 cards here. And that's kind of what I was talking about. That if we had the Valiant Dynamo, we definitely could have only given up a 1-card hand there. Oh, and this is not where you want to be. Just a weapon swing. Oh, but we do have the but yeah, but we're not gonna be able to crack it, right? So technically we do have the boots to give this go again, but if it hits, it just doesn't matter. So but this is coming in for 3, threatening 4, blocking with an attack, so it could just be another 2-card block. Oh, I think I see another sift. Another sift in Michael's hand. That would be enough to block, not pump it. Still have plenty of cards in your hand. Another thing you have to be worried about if you're on Michael's side of the field is I haven't seen him yet, but if he's on any kind of the defense reaction that pings for 1. It's slipping my mind right now. But yeah, the warrior defense reaction. That could be a really interesting, really funny way to end this game. I think we just have to block with the sift here, unless that's the only blue in our hand, and that's what we're worried about. Yeah, Steelblade Shunt. Sorry, thank you, Shunt. It's a lot of card names to remember, and I was like, Shunt. I was like, I can see the guy in my head. I know what the card does. But yeah, definitely. So Steelblade Shunt. Shunt could be an interesting way to end this game should Michael ever swing his weapon again. We are going to block with a red sift. Again, sift being a non-attack action, not going to buff that attack up. Going to block it for 3 exactly. And now we have Michael with a 3-card hand, kind of getting a little bit of advantage there. We're going to have to pitch a yellow and a red for a Mangle for 10. Oh, I'm sorry. Mangle's for 8. I'm thinking the other one. Righteous Cleansing, I think it is the 10. All right, so Mangle for 10 or 8. Still a huge attack. Still going to require some, pretty much a 3-card block. This has been a back and forth battle between these two. This has been amazing to watch. Yep, there goes 3 cards. We actually get to... Oh, we still don't get to Arsenal a card. We're going to draw. We're just going to Arsenal pass. So now the window is wide open for Michael to have a decent turn to close this game out. At least get another big block out of him. Oh, there's the Terra Sunder. There's the Dominate we were worried about. And there's the Weapon Swing. No Steelblade Shunt. Gonna be game. Michael taking round number 1 on Valda. What a fun game to watch, round 1. That has been super awesome to watch. That was back and forth, 1-to-1. 2 heroes you don't see all the time. Let's go. Let's hear it for Valda and Michael doing work on that side of the field. And I was worried about that Terra Sunder. I was worried about going to 1 there. Anytime you do that, you're just asking to be dominated for game. Super awesome game. We are going to go to the Be Right Back screen. Make sure you share the stream around if you haven't already. Let's have some fun. We got some Blitz going on. We have 4 rounds, cut to top 4, and lots of fun stuff going on. So lots of fun heroes. We have a Kaio here. We have a new Dory here. If you guys want, I'm going to actually put that new Dory on stream next round no matter what. So whoever they're playing, I want to see that new Dory play, the one from the Classic Battles deck. So make sure you share the stream around. Tell your friends. We'll go to the Be Right Back screen and see you very shortly for round number 2. I think we're actually getting ready to pair that not too long from now, so don't go anywhere. Be right back. All right, welcome back to round number 2. Yeah, we actually are going to keep Nick on the field just because I promised this Dory on stream. I really want to see it. I just have to remember exactly what happens. I know the Dawnblade says that it can swing again once it has go again. Something like that. We're actually going to see the Spoils of War. I think we're going to see a much more aggressive list out of the Dawnblade, coming in for 4 damage, go again. If it hits, we're going to make some copper. Glint mat on Dory, intimidating. Yeah, maybe just a little, right? Maybe just a little. That glint mat is beautiful, though. One of the original, one of the OG mats for sure. James has been a Dorinthia truther since the game came out. Since he's been into this game, he found out Dorinthia was a hero and was like, Dorinthia is the person that is the hero I'm going to play forever. Like, he's just so on Dory. So, funny enough, whenever warriors have to fight each other, it's interesting to watch how they block because they both know that they have things that, like, combat tricks that, like, want to be blocked from hand. Okay, and so that is actually going to block all of that. We blocked, overblocked for 7. Oh, thank you, Fire Shot. Yeah, Dory says if Dawnblade Resplendent gets a go again, you can attack with it again. Dawnblade Resplendent says if you attack a second time, it gains +1. And that is the James from the Haven Games. Absolutely. He's one of the owners here, one of the awesome people. He's like finally gets to play. Does have to explain that like the bracers need to hit to be activated. Does look like we're going to play a Warrior's Valor. So now we're coming in for 6 damage. Should be +1 from the Dawnblade. And another +3 from the Warrior's Valor. So 6 damage coming in. At this point, it is just damage, though. So it just depends on whether or not Nick wants to take the damage here. We'll make some coppers on hit, though. But coppers are a little less consequential for Dory. Unless he's playing the cheeky one of trade-in, which I don't think he is, but... Yep, coming in for 6 damage here. Love to see it. Been missing seeing him. I know I'm back from when I started FFTCG. 11 out of 10 human being. A truer statement could not have been said. One of the pillars of this community as a store owner, as a player, as everything. Just a beam of positivity for sure. So we're going to see an armor block already. Take 2. We're giving up some armor here. We've already given up enough cards. Would have liked to see save that armor, maybe for something else, maybe for something a little more glistening. But here we're just gonna scoop it up, go to our next turn. No arsenal though on James's side. Used up everything. Think I would have liked to save that Warrior's Valor, possibly for this attack as well. I also saw that lovely Marvel Dory he got this week. Oh yeah, he definitely did. It's a beautiful card. Beautiful card. So Spoils of War into a Centauri Saber Swing. We're gonna be 4 and go again. Make some coppers on hit. If you're James, you definitely don't want to let as many things hit as possible because we don't want those coppers. Coppers are bad news bears. That blood on our hands turn can just be so devastating. It's a lot like a going off Sonata turn, or more like a the turns you would get from Bolton on the big combo saber turns. So very similar to that. So on the big like double triple lumina turns. So James says no, we're not gonna do that. So no damage taken on his side. See how James decides to start his turn. He does have a couple ways to go again. He does have that Steelblade Supremacy in his hand. Is this the turn you want to use it, though? We'll have to see. He does need to give away, or have a way to give this go again. We are going to pitch the Glint the Quicksilver, get 3 resources, go play our our Steel Blade Supremacy into our hit and run. Hit and run, not going to have its full text, just going to give the next attack go again. I'm curious if Nick is playing Minerva. I do not believe so. I'm a big Minerva truther when I play Kasai. I think Minerva is actually, like, even just like the effect Minerva has, let alone searching the specialization, I think Minerva is actually freaking wild. +1 on all your saber swings, giving them that like kind of like pseudo 4 break point. So Dawnblade Resplendent coming in for 4 attack, go again. Able to swing a second time. I played Minerva even before because I had a specialization. Yeah, I mean, Minerva is just so good, right? Minerva being able to, like... And the thing is, you can, like, crack Minerva and, like, fail to find, so you don't even, like... It doesn't get stuck there, like, if you don't have the specialization, so... Yeah, Minerva is just really good. It lets you get to that break point of, like, you're coming in for 3, if they block with an attack, it goes up to 4, so... really good, just math there. Nick really having to decide exactly how he wants to block. He is going to give him a card and a piece of equipment. Does James have the punish in his hand? I do not think so. I want to say the other card in his hand is just like another hit and run. Oh no, it's actually the +3 in Dominate. So we're actually going to swing again with Dominate. Get some damage in. Coming in for 8. Dominate, gonna draw a card. Pretty much that card is gonna be in our arsenal. So we're gonna block 5, still take 3, draw a card. That was a glistening. A glistening is going in the arsenal. James has to be excited about that. Being able to start your turn with the glistening in your arsenal. And he was able to attack twice with a sword, and that's where the value in Valiant Dynamo just comes in so clutch, where he's just getting so much block out of that Valiant Dynamo. Even just 2 or 3 blocks, just free. Just for doing what your deck already wants to do, just swing Dawnblade a couple times. So on Nick's side of the field, we're just going to see a Centauri Saber swing just for 2. And I got to say, if I'm looking at being James, I'm looking at not even blocking this, possibly. Just going to glint into the other weapon swing. So he took 1 from the first one, so he's going to get at least 1 copper. We're going to go up to 4 coppers no matter what. Yep, looks like we're going to actually get up to 5 coppers. Now I know James... Oh, I think that's an Iron Song Determination in James's hand. This could be quite a powerful turn if he's able to pay for it all. Adding a Glistening Steel Blade onto an Iron Song Determination is kind of exactly what you want here. I think, and a Steel Blade Supremacy. This could be very wild. And already, Nick has basically no armor to block with. He's at a higher life, so he is at lower life, so the Skull Cap is on, and he could block with the chest piece. But again, you don't really want to block with that chest piece one more time and lose it. You don't have to play the hit and run here. You do want to play the Iron Song Determination. You do want to play the Glistening. Glistening going to give that next attack go again. I think we definitely play the Iron Song Determination and the draw card, the Steel Blade Supremacy. Iron Song Determination going to give that sword go again for the rest of the turn. Steel Blade Supremacy going to give it +2. Already has go again from the Glistening. So that'll be +3 and Dominate. You're coming in for 5 go again and Dominate, and then you actually get to come in for another 6 Dominate. So maybe even 9 Dominate go again with the hit and run. Yeah, you just assemble Voltron at this point. Yeah, I can't think of a better hand that this could have lined up into. already, if I'm on Nick's side of the field, I'm looking at this and just be like, no, you have to be kidding me. I don't know why we aren't playing the Steel Blade Supremacy on this chain link. I feel like 5 and Dominate would just be too good. Maybe we're trying to play some mind games. Say like, hey, I have 2 cards in my hand. Watch out. But I think I definitely play the Steel Blade Supremacy that turn. It's just too good not to. Go up to 5 and Dominate. He's actually going to block the 3, and I don't think he's going to get punished for it. Blocking with a card from hand. But we're just going to hit and run into the weapon swing. Now it has a +3 from the hit and run, has a +1 from the Iron Tongue Determination. So we're coming in for 7 Dominate Go again. I think James was worried about resources there, but I would say 5 Dominate Go again. One of 2 things happens, or 5 draw a card on hit and go again. One of 2 things happens. Either he blocks with a card and both pieces of armor, and then you still pitch the hit and run for another 6 Dominate. But then he also loses the chess piece. So we're going to see that he actually was able to swing with both. So we're going to get a couple triggers here. We're going to get a counter on our Dawn Blade. We're going to get a counter on our Dawn Blade. We're going to get the counter off of our boots. And the crazy thing about the counters on this Dawn Blade is they never fall off. That counter's on there the rest of the game. So we're starting out with a yellow slice and dice. We're going to do +1 into our weapon swing on Nick's side of the field. So that's coming for 3. No go again just yet, but you got to imagine there's like a Blade Runner coming or something to that effect. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, is that you would pitch the if you have to, you'd pitch the hit and run to swing again if you don't get the draw. So now we're coming in for 7. Yeah, like a +2 from the slice and dice, and then another +3 from the Blade Runner. Coming in for 7 attack. Looks like we're gonna block with our helmet and gloves, giving us a 2 block here. Take 5. Not a big fan of blocking these attacks that don't have on hits that are just damage at this point. Especially when you're still going to take the damage. You're not giving it, like, you're not stopping the copper generation or anything like that, but on James's side, he has a full grip and a card in Arsenal. I see a Spoils of War, and I think I see the push forward, which is another dominated attack, so could be a big damage turn here. Could even possibly force game if James is able to line it up properly. Yeah, definitely rolls out the red carpet for Nourishing, rolls out the red carpet for Glistening, and another Iron Star Determination. We do have the Spoils of War here, and there's the Steelblade Supremacy we saved from last turn. So now we're up to +4 on this swing, so we're actually coming in for 7 go again. 7 go again, draw a card on hit. Get some copper on hit. We're not too worried about the copper. I don't think he's playing the cash in. That would be amazing if he was. So we are going to see him block with 2 cards in his hand and the helmet, going up to 7 exactly. However, James is just able to swing again. And there it is, the push forward. We're going to actually be able to draw cards. So this is going to be, again, +5 this time. So, and +6 total because of its own effect. So we're actually coming in for 9 dominate, draw a card on hit. Effect. But however, that being said, I don't think it will matter too much if James is not able to survive this turn. Usually this is looking like it's going to be 4, 8, 12, 16, I believe, damage turn. Blood on Our Hands is a pretty filthy card. Lets you give up to 2 things go again, up to 2 things they can swing twice, and up to 2 things +1, I believe. And you can choose the same target if you want to. So pretty crazy. We're gonna see a 4-4, 4-4. Now, one of the things that's kind of crazy is that most decks actually can't block this effectively. Reason being is that they usually have attacks, right? But being Dory, he's actually able to block with 2 cards. Yeah, so James is actually able to weather that pretty well. So James was able to weather that pretty well. Does he have enough to really just swing Dawnblade twice again? Because that would really... I don't want to say it really does it, but he's in lethal range already. Oh, it's just a Nourishing Emptiness with Dominate. That could actually spell the end of the game. I don't think there's a defense reaction. There it is. Nourishing Emptiness, 6 with Dominate at 3 life. That is the game right there. James is going to move on, get that win from this round. Let's go, dude. New Dory is super exciting to watch. I think we have a lot of other fun decks here. We do have a Briar. We do have a Kaio. If the Kaio actually wins this round, I'll probably end up putting him on stream unless he ends up playing Nick again. I don't want to do that to him. Make him play 3 games straight on stream. But we'll see. I definitely want to get the Kaio on stream. I think we have an Icelander here. I think we might even have a Dromai in Blitz. So we'll see. Definitely stick around. Again, share this as much as you can, guys. Let's get a lot of people in here talking. It's a lot more fun for me. I love bringing this content to you guys. And make sure you shop at thehaventabletop.com. Use that promo code TEAMACG at checkout. You get 10% off your Flesh and Blood singles, and it really helps me out. So that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back for round number 3. Welcome back to round number 4. I believe this is a win and in. We have an interesting one for you. Yeah, we did have we have a Phi, we have a Reinhardt. It's super fun to watch. But yeah, we did have the Phi did start with stubby hammers. We have a lot of newer players. You know, I think both these players are actually just a few weeks into the game, so maybe a month or two. But did let him know that Stubbies is banned in Blitz. Unfortunately, I think he just we don't run Blitz too much, so I think a lot of people were just like they pared down their CC decks. And so we just had to let him know that, hey, man, you can't using stubby hammers on my own voice.
Why is this happening?
So yeah, he did have to. We just let him know he had to swap it out, and did have the swap out for the Tiger Stripe Shuko. So we're already seeing the Reinhardt player going kind of off here. He does have a Blood Rush Bellow into a Barraging Beatdown into a Massacre.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think the big thing, right, Fire Shot is the intention, right? It's just been totally, like, innocuous in the sense that, like, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't like they were trying to get one over on anyone. Just sometimes the bans are not as, like, apparent if you're not, like, on the website all the time and everything. So, and again, we don't really play Blitz too much. But this Massacre coming in for 12 damage because of the Barraging Beatdown and the Blood Rush Bellows. Freaking insane. Let's see if PJ can answer back with a turn of his own. PJ really has to have a big turn here to answer back that 12 damage turn 1.
Turn 1.
Now, a lot of these cards for Ninja, I don't know a lot of their names. I do know this. Of course, most players build decks on FabDB, and it doesn't have the ban strip on the database for the cards since it's only in this format. Yeah, it would be nice if maybe like when they pick the young hero, maybe it kind of defaults to that, to Blitz, and says like ban in Blitz or something. But not really sure. But PJ gonna start with what I think is an Inflame into the. I know it's so funny. I know what they all do.
I just don't remember the name.
It's 3 damage, go again, and because it's the second attack, he gets to go find a Phoenix Flame. Funny enough, I can remember all that.
But not the name.
Not the name of it.
But not the 2 to 3 words that it's probably
like
named.
Something about knowledge and fire.
Pursuit.
Fiery knowledge.
Fiery knowledge. Flame knowledge.
Flame Call Awakening. I got there.
Hey.
Flame Call Awakening. Flame Call Awakening, going to be 3 damage, go again, and because it was the second chain link or higher, it is going to go find a Phoenix Flame. That is enough for Dennis to be able to actually play the Phoenix Flame, get another Phoenix Flame from his graveyard for free, and I do think he had a Phoenix form in it. Oh no, just a Razor Reflex. Razor Reflex is an interesting card to pick in this deck. Razor Reflex can definitely catch your opponent by surprise. We're seeing Dennis actually choosing to block with equipment. Don't mind it too much. Normally I would say block the on-hit effects. Now, he does have a Razor Reflex in his hand, but normally Phi decks don't play too many on-hits. The only thing I can think of is like a Phoenix form, right? Like don't get blown out by Phoenix form. But I think the more that you can block to protect yourself from like a Salt the Wound turn is actually pretty good. So we are seeing the Phoenix Flame come down here. 1 and go again. Actually, should be 2. Yep, from the Tiger Stripe Shuko is going to buff it by 1. Yep, Dennis choosing not to go get the other Phoenix Flame. I think at that point I probably would. You could actually do something kind of cheeky there if you didn't want the Razor Reflex in your arsenal. Because Phi is actually an instant, you could instant up the Phoenix Flame into your hand and then pitch it for the Razor Reflex. So we're just going to start with a Barraging Beatdown. And right now, if you're PJ, you kind of have to start wondering, like, oh no, is this the turn where I just die? Reinar kind of can do some super scary things in this format. Dennis loses the Razor Reflex. I'm sure he's okay with that. We're actually going to crack the Skull Horn here, which is draw a card, discard a random card. Not sure what we're trying to turn on here, but could just be wants to get another Intimidate. Does get the Pulping. It's going to be another Intimidate here from Reinar. We just have to remember to trigger Reinar if we want. Yep. Gonna remember there. Gonna trigger Reinar. Intimidate one more time. Leaving him with only 2 cards in hand. A card in Arsenal that we know about. Yeah, it just seems to want to go for the kill. Yeah, probably gonna happen here. Looks like we already intimidated 2 cards. Ninja cards are notoriously terrible blocks anyway. Just a reminder, this is the 4th and final round of Swiss. We will have a top cut after this, top 4. Love those, the fact that they both have gold dragon shields. Dennis has it on his equipment. PJ has it on his deck. Those gold dragon shields are super awesome looking. Just a swing big on Dennis's side. Swing big says if you can block it all, you actually get to you get a quicken token, I believe, as the defending hero. But I don't think that PJ actually has the block value to do that. I think he has about 6 block in hand, or maybe he actually does. That is 8 block. Oh no, only 7 block. The second card only blocked for 1. Did lose a Phoenix form though. Now you have to go for the Slate. I am not a Slate fan. I'll be honest. I don't want to go against my chat already, but I don't like gray. Not a big gray fan. So here on PJ's side of the field, we actually see that kind of where Razor Reflex, despite being one of the strongest like generic cards in the game, it just doesn't do it can break your hand a little bit, right? Like he has 2 reds in his hand. One of them is a Razor Reflex. Just doesn't really get you where you want to go. We're just gonna play the Lava Burst there. Dennis just gonna take it, move to his next turn. PJ's just hoping for a turn where he keeps some of his hand. All my collection is in Slate with purple sleeves tokens. I don't know, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Slate is just gross to me. We are gonna gain 2 resources off the chess piece there. Fun to see him use the actual chess piece, roll some dice. See an Alpha Rampage, a Blood Rush Bellow. He's just kind of trying to cycle this turn as best he can. We are going to play the Blood Rush Bellow, lose one of those resources. I'm wondering if he's really hoping that he doesn't lose the Alpha Rampage in this hand. Doesn't lose the Alpha Rampage, loses the Pack Call. That is a 6 though. Gonna intimidate off Reinar. This could very well be the game if he's able to get this Alpha Rampage off with a bunch of discards. I think he's going to be able to discard 2 more cards with the Alpha Rampage. Or, I'm sorry, intimidate 2 more cards. I want to see a Rolling Thunder. I love that card in CC. Yeah. Rolling Thunder can be pretty devastating. Can also be pretty silly too. It's above rate with an average of 3.5, and it works on weapons. Yeah, and he's also playing Skull Crushers, right? So it could go off that too. Wow, Dennis also has a Wild Ride. He could really try to high roll this turn and pretty much end the game with that Wild Ride. I think every card in Dennis's hand turns on Wild Ride. Yeah, that Wild Ride coming in with another Intimidate. Oh, this is just why Blitz Rhinar can be so gross. Coming in for 8 go again. PJ only has 2 cards left in hand. And I think we have enough for the Alpha Rampage. This is probably going to be the end of the game here. We are going to block for 5 here. If it were me, I actually would block. Not knowing what's in Dennis's hand, I would block with as many cards from my hand as possible, because there's a chance that another Intimidate is coming around the corner. Again, I don't think it really matters at this point. I think just the swing big is going to be enough to close it out. PJ only having like 1 blocking card left in his hand. It's a Brand with Cinder Claw. I think that only blocks for 2. Swing big coming in for 10. PJ is going to fall there. Dennis is going to move, I believe, to 3-1. So you're going to see a Rhinar here in the top 4. I think. We'll see how top 4 shakes out. That being said, we are going to go to the Be Right Back screen. We are going to bring you top 4 as soon as possible. I'm going to get a little peek at like what's actually in the field. Like what's the breakdown. I know we have a Briar, we have a Phi, we have a Rhinar, we have a Kaio, we have a Dory, we have a Valda, we have a, I think, oh my goodness, I think every single person who's here is playing a different hero. I don't think we doubled up on any heroes. Gotta love it. Gotta love Blitz format for that reason. You get a lot more variety. A lot of people take it a little less seriously. Just playing some fun decks, some fun combo decks. And that being said, we're going to be right back to the top 4. Stick around. Let me know if there's anything you want to see. Anything you're hoping makes it. I hope James makes it with that Dory deck. I want to feature that. And again, that was such a fun deck to watch. Also, if you guys are in the Orlando area, don't ignore that right side of the screen that you're seeing now, that event details. That's a 1K and a draft coming up. They're 2 different days. The 1K, I believe, is on Saturday. There is no minimum for full prizing. If 3 people show up, $1,000 is still being handed out. So you don't have to worry that if you like come and like only 4 people show up and they change the prizing, not going to happen to you. Just make sure you show up. It's going to be a really fun time. It is an Armory event on top of it, so there's going to be a lot of people's champions mats given out. There's going to be a lot of cold foils given out. There's going to be a lot of promos given out. Plus, on top of that, $1,000 in cash. Gotta love it. Then on Sunday, there's a Crucible of War draft. So the draft, I believe, is Uprising. The prize is the first place prize gets a first edition Crucible of War box. Insane. Second prize gets a Monarch first edition box. So that being said, definitely show up to those events if you can. Gotta love it. Everyone else, just make sure you share the stream. Let's get more people in here for top 4. Let's do it. I'm going to change this to say top 4, not round 4. And thank you guys for watching so far, and we'll be right back. Let's go. Welcome back to the semifinals here on our little Blitz Armory here at the Haven Games in Castleberry, Florida. Let's go. James has bubbled himself into top 4, squeaking in with a 2-2 record on the bubble. Squeaking in there, made it to top 4. Ryan here was our only 4-0 on Kaio. So, I mean, that's pretty insane. So, yeah, I totally agree. Warrior can definitely mitigate some of KO's KO potential like that. Just hope James doesn't burn it, really. Joined by Evan.
What's up,
Talking
guys?
about James's bubble in, sneaking in there, 2-2.
I knew it. Let's go, baby. Has Ryan been rolling hot?
This is the first time I've seen Ryan on stream. So Ryan was supposed to be on stream round 3, and that was the incident. so here we're gonna see Iron Song Determination, 3 dominate on the Dawn Blade. Doesn't have go again just yet, but James sitting there with 2 floating resources.
Ooh.
Into a run through, I believe that card is called. So it gives
yeah,
the sword go again, and then the next attack will have +2.
Does it to him.
Does it to him. And so Dawn Blade will get +1 from its own effect. Still have +1 from the Iron Song Determination and Dominate. And a hit and run.
So it's gonna come in for 6.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
I didn't see the hit and run.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, 9 dominate.
Ooh.
9 dominate.
He's going in.
Ryan having a block with those Skull Crushers pretty early and a pack call.
Dang, he takes 5 damage on turn 1.
Taking 5 damage on James's turn 1. Ryan and giving up a card.
Did Ryan choose to go first?
Yeah, he did.
Ooh, good for James.
Is pretty good for James, but we just see a pound for pound, which I haven't seen in quite a while.
Yeah.
Ryan rolling for it. Rolls the 4,
Ooh.
coming in for 3 damage. For a pound has like a dominate effect on it. I think.
Yes,
If
I
it's
believe
like...
it's if you're lower than life than your opponent, it does have dominate.
And James was like, "Here, you can have some armor, bud. I'm keeping the cards in my hand." Keeping the cards in my hand. I'm gonna keep the gas on, or keep the pedal on the gas, fucking as far down as we can.
James absolutely dumbstring Ryan right now.
At the moment,
Completely
are we
doing it to
cracking
him.
courage?
Oh, wait, he didn't block with it though.
No, we're losing the 2 block
No,
on
that
the
was a
courage.
misstep. It's okay,
Should have
though.
blocked. We could have blocked with the courage and kept the gloves alive.
I'm sure James did that actually just to flex on Ryan.
Yeah, we're just trolling out here.
yeah, exactly. So we see him pitching a Steel Blade Supremacy for a Glistening Steel Blade and playing a Slice and Dice. Coming in with
It's
a
still it's another Steel Blade Supremacy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see.
So it's just 5 and draw a card on hit. I think we're pretty much telegraphing the crap out of having a Glint the Quicksilver, because no floating resources. Sword doesn't have go again yet. Ryan really having to think. He does still have the Crown of Providence. He still has his boots. Still has his chest piece that blocks for 1.
Yeah, interesting note, no, what's that chest piece called? The one that makes it cost 2 less for your next attack. Heart and Cross Strap.
I think that card's banned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I
that
was
card's
like,
suspended. So.
Wild. Ooh, see that glint. So he's going to draw a card. If James is a god here, he'll draw an Iron Song response and then go over the top, getting that on-hit effect of drawing a card. Let's see if he's that guy.
He already gets to swing again with the sword, so...
I know the Iron Song response would just make me happy.
Yeah.
Just to flex on him a little. So you see a Brave Forge Bracer's activation?
Oh, we actually can't because the sword didn't hit.
It's true. Well, I'm sure James is okay with that.
Yeah, just gonna swing the sword again.
So...
Because the sword actually from the Slice and Dice gets +3, +2 from the Steel Blade Supremacy, +1 from its own effect. So just coming in for 8 again. James just putting on the pressure as much as he can. He says, "Get out of here, runt."
Ooh, I'm gonna give up the whole hand.
Thinking about it.
So an interesting thing.
The whole hand and the Crown of Providence.
Yeah, you can filter the cards so you can maybe be able to swing his claws next turn.
I think it was a red
that
though.
is.
Yeah, it was a red, so just gonna probably be an Arsenal pass on Ryan's side. James really is keeping on the pressure, and he's still, it's funny, all this pressure, and we still haven't even seen a glistening yet.
That's true.
That's the turn
like
with the pressure.
card.
Ryan's burning armor like crazy. And all it takes is one like really insane like Iron Song Determination, glistening Steel Blade, and you're like, alright, well.
I mean, the thing is, like, so you keep the counters between turns. I'm sure if you can stick one good swing, like, actually get a counter on it, he's going to be in a commanding position more than he is already.
Yeah, absolutely. Pitch a blue.
Spoils of War.
Spoils of War. That's what I said. I was like, can you let them know that music's like super copyright? So Ryan having to block with the card in his hand and actually turns on the Singing Steel Blade, which we haven't seen James actually get to resolve too much now. He does have the Out for Blood. Out for Blood gonna buff it by 3, going up to 8 damage here. And gonna buff the next swing as well. James just not letting up on these swings at all. Ryan does actually have a sink below, which I'm not used to seeing in this format either.
Blocking 8.
It is blocking 8, but again, this isn't your old Dory. It's going to come in again.
What do we got?
If he has the resources for it, that is. I don't know if he does. Oh, yeah, he had another card in hand. Not only do we have the resources for it, we're going Warrior's Valor, its own effect, coming in for 7 damage here. Oh, actually 8. It should be 8, I believe. I think we're missing the Out for Blood +1.
Uh-oh. Ryan taking it.
Ryan taking all of it. Ryan's like, I would like a turn, please.
And I don't even know if he's really going to be given a turn. He's only got a 2-card hand, unfortunately.
He's got a 2-card hand, but he still has that chess piece. I was gonna see if we were actually gonna Rolling Thunder, right? That's that one.
Yeah, that's Rolling
Thunder.
No! Well, okay, it's not that horrible. It's a +1.
Well, he loses the gloves.
That's pretty. Oh, okay.
Swing big.
It's not awful. This could be for 17.
Looks like it wasn't.
It's not. Very unfortunate. I'd be really interested to see if James just takes like a setup turn here.
Yeah, looking at James's hand, I don't really see. always
he
block with
get,
the boots.
He can give himself a free quicken token, too. He might not actually
have
to take a setup turn. He can probably
a
just block
free
with one
quicken
card from him.
token is actually pretty insane because
It
like you would be able to
activates the ability, right?
well, yeah, it would activate the ability, and he has a hit and run in his hand that he could save for the second swing as just a buff.
Oh, that's true. It's pretty good. See a CNC and run.
So we're just gonna pitch the hit and run.
Steel
Another
Blade
Steel Blade Supremacy. Go down to 2 resources remaining.
Sheesh.
And just another Dawnblade swing. Oh, we are.
Is that a glint in
That
hand?
is a glint, and it's
Oh
also.
my
So
gosh.
what's crazy is he also has the other go again. Reaction. It costs 1 though. If Ryan hadn't blocked with a card from hand, he could have picked that one instead, so that he could like keep the glint. But Ryan did block with a card in his hand.
Slice and dice history. That's pretty good, right?
You would save that, I think, for the next turn. It is still a +3 for this next turn, but if it were me, I'd probably save it.
Well, okay, so he still gets to have another card in Arsenal as well for this next turn.
But the card in Arsenal is going to be like a really crappy blue.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so like that's
I don't know.
that's
I
kind
can't see
of.
what the card is.
And like I would have like pitched the blue, turn the glove sideways, swing the sword, keep the
That's
slice and
hits
dice.
though.
It did hit.
Oh. Wait, what?
I thought it hit. No, it
No,
didn't.
it did not hit. I was like, it's like 5 versus 6. Hold up.
Nah, it hit.
All right,
Just say it hit.
Sure. I'll allow it.
Anything for James.
Anything for James. We love James.
We're actually
Ooh,
wow,
Faith
Ryan's
Machine.
really trying to run him out of all these threatening cards.
Little does he know, James is just that guy and is just gonna keep having it.
Oh, we actually do get to draw a card before we Arsenal. If you'd rather Arsenal the other card,
Which is pretty solid.
Oh, I finally see the first glistening turn. I think we're gonna see on James's side here.
Let's go.
That hit and run needs to go to the bottom.
It does need to go to the bottom.
I'm sure as soon as he goes to pitch, he'll like
realize
That's
it.
usually when most people realize it when
Yeah.
they like leave their pitch out. They're like, I'll play this pitch to. Oh wait.
Oh, sick. I get free 3 resources to start my turn.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what just happened. James went to pitch, and he's like, "Oh, this
Wait.
card's here.
Wait a second.
There's a card in my way." We're gonna pitch a yellow slice and dice, pitching it for another yellow slice and dice into a glistening. I think is coming down now.
Sheesh.
I think we're just worried about having the resources to pay for everything. I think slice and dice is not free, right? Yeah, I think it costs 1. Or is it free? It must be free.
I feel like it's free.
I think it's free.
I think it's free.
Yeah, if Sharp and Steel is free, right? So.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, that's where it is. He had to pitch for it, so it is coming in for 5. Oh, no, that was the second swing. Slice is free. Okay, yeah, so he pitched for the second swing there. Dawnblade not getting the counters that he needed.
Feels bad, man. He still doesn't. Oh.
And Ryan just plays a crazy brew on the side of the field. Crazy brew. And so Crazy Brew would have been really fun if Ryan still had his gloves, but because he lost the gloves on the 1 roll,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
that felt
like...
bad.
I really hope Ryan just cracks Crazy Brew at 2 life and
He dies.
Just feel like a really funny way to end
So,
this top match.
we see the Iron Song. Was it Determination?
Yeah, if only he had it on the same
I
turn
know,
with the
it's
glistening.
so good.
Sharp and Steel.
Gonna come in for 6 Dominate here. No go again yet.
Yeah, six dominate. No go again. We do know about the go again in his arsenal, but he does actually have 1 in hand.
This turn is seriously scary. Like, Ryan can realistically only block 4 of this here, most likely. So there's a good chance that, like, James has a pump spell. He just wins.
Yeah, and Ryan doesn't know that. We know that the card... I see the card in his hand is a run-through, so all he can really do on this particular swing is give it go again. But then it's going to be the next swing that has another... It's another 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
Dominate
which is
again.
Still really threatening.
So it looks like Ryan's going to probably end this turn at 1 life, to be honest. Yep. So, and then we're going to swing the sword again for 6.
Not too shabby.
Yep, Ryan only going
Is
to
that
be able
another
to block.
Wait, Ryan's on a crazy rune
I
hand
think
and an erase face. He
does
might die
have-
here.
Oh. Ryan actually not going to die here, but not going to get the effect on the
Ooh.
reckless swing. He didn't have a card to trigger it.
Is that not an erase face in him?
Oh, it was? Okay, yeah. So
I thought it was. I might be wrong. It looked erase
if he has an erase face, he did have the ability to trigger it, and he actually would have probably, not only for the 2 damage, but just to have the 3 pitch in hand.
Yeah.
Looks
Looks
like we're,
going for
we're
it.
cracking the chess piece. We're gonna see if we get some resources. Get
Ooh,
3
resources.
resources. And Ryan's like, why now?
Absolutely
Ryan's
humongous.
Like, Ryan's like, why is it 6 now?
Yeah, and then we see him slam down that erase face for 6. Wait. For 3.
Oh, I saw it spin on the 6 for a second. I was like, oh, we're coming back.
And then James just throwing him some armor just to flex on him.
Yeah, throwing them all 3 pieces of armor.
You know, I think James is so far ahead that, like, even if, like, Ryan is able to efficiently block out everything and somehow manage to get to, like, a late game situation, I think, like, James will just have more cards in deck. Cause
I'm trying to think if Erase Face does anything to Dorinthia. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think everything, like, references specifically, like, a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, sword and all that stuff. And none of that is a talent type, so...
So I don't even, like, specifically say Dawnblade. See, a Spoils of War coming down.
Yeah, because your sword's still a sword. It's just not, like, a warrior weapon, technically. But I don't think anything mentions warrior.
I don't think so either.
4 damage. Go again. Erase Face doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about, right? I was trying to think of if there was any application.
I mean,
don't
you know,
think
this
there
is Blitz. Like, there's no sideboard.
Right. You
besides
can't
equipment,
bring it
so,
out. So.
You know,
Oh,
can
this
you-
could be the game here. This is a push forward, which gives the weapon +3 and dominate. Coming in again for 6 dominate.
Eh.
Oh, Ryan actually has a sink below, but I think
Oh my.
it's just not enough.
I really want to see Ryan crack the crazy brew this turn just
Oh.
for the one time.
He ends up with a Blood Rush Bell, and James is moving on to the finals, dude.
Woo!
James is like, I really like this Dorinthia. I think she'll do well. And I was like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, AJ actually started off the week by attempting to ruin James's tournament by not giving him back his glistening steel blades.
I didn't do that at all. All right. Well, that being said, we're gonna go check on the other semifinals match. James will be joining us.
Before we leave, though, I have a quick message. Twitch Prime. You know what Amazon Prime is? I'm sure you do. Everyone has it. Why wouldn't you? With Twitch Prime, if you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you can get 1 free subscription per month to any streamer of your choice. And not only that, it's free. So please use it on us. Or at the very least, hit that follow button.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll be right back with James and his finals match against either Michael on Valda or Jamie on Bravo. So that was a Guardian like matchup versus it would be Guardian versus Warrior. Which Guardian? I don't know yet. So we'll see. Definitely coming out. Gonna see in the next round in the final. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that finals match coming right up. All right, welcome back to the finals. We actually ended up with James and Jamie. Jamie on Bravo, making it all the way through the field today, getting all the way to the top table. Same with James on this Dory deck. We've featured on stream a couple times now. This Dory deck has just been a lot of fun to watch, and this is one of the best starts you can have. You have the Spoils of War into a Dawnblade swing. Jamie gonna block for 6 here. James just has an easy swing here. I think you just swing. Oh, we're actually gonna out for blood it. Kind of a fan of actually saving that out for blood, but yeah, it's funny. I just thought about this, but it's actually a couple of Final Fantasy alum in the finals here in Flesh and Blood Town. So James actually just gonna swing the sword again for 4. Yep, the James explaining that the Out for Blood actually gives the next attack another +1. The sword gives itself +1. I think this new Dory kind of plays a lot of tricks on people, specifically because they see Dory and they think like I have to block Dawnblade, but like blocking Dawnblade doesn't even really like do too much against this specific version because it can still swing again no matter what, as long as it has go again. So James able to sneak in 2 points of damage there. Not too bad on your first turn going first. Typically we see a pretty full block. Jamie gonna pitch to activate the surge. Has 2 resources floating. Gonna pitch another one. Go up to 5. Gonna play a Spinal Crush. Still a card in hand. No dominate, no pummel shenanigans. Looks like it's coming just because he only has 1 card in hand, so just a Spinal Crush. But Spinal Crush against Dory is pretty devastating. If you let that crush you, no go again on anything can be pretty bad. But we do have an armor. We do have a suite of armor to mitigate it. We could literally just block with all the armor if we really wanted to. You just throw the fridge at it. Blocks with a Singing Steel Blade and 2 pieces of armor, I believe. So that would be 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're actually gonna still throw the fridge at it, but throw like just not take anything. Keep our life pretty high. I think if it were me and I was gonna just throw the armor at it, I think I would have kept every card in my hand as possible. So just a really tall Dawnblade attack, I believe, for 8. Just a really, really tall Dawnblade attack. Nothing about go again gonna happen here. Another interesting thing is that no way are we going to get the counter off of our Valiant Dynamo. Jamie's saying, I'm just gonna block 6 here. Take 2, take 3. Oh, I guess there was another point. Yep. Has Saber text as well. So yeah, if you block with an attack, gets that +1 as well. So taking 3 there. And then just a hammer swing on Jamie's side of the field. Just 4 for now. Kind of scary. You got to be thinking pummel here. Card in hand and a card in arsenal. It's pretty classic Bravo stuff. Didn't make a surge. And James not eating or not taking the bait, not blocking. Jamie just had a sigil in hand. Sigil can be pretty rough when you're Dory. Kind of is. It's rough to get there. It's rough to get to that number, and those sigils can kind of put it out of reach. Bravo's able to block quite a bit. All of his cards typically block for 3. Dominate can put in some real work against you on those pretty debilitating crushes. But James is going to start his turn with that Warrior's Valor into a Dawnblade swing. Dawnblade Resplendent coming in for 5 damage and go again if it hits. So this is one of the few times, specifically on this card, where blocking it out feels particularly advantageous. Because you do actually stop that second swing, granted if nothing else happens here. So Jamie choosing not to turn on any kind of reprise, just gonna block completely with armor. I think if I'm James here, I kind of just take my lumps, move on to the next turn, arsenal that run through. Because in theory, yeah, you could pitch to run through here, but I think so. Yeah, we're gonna run through here, give it go again, so that does work. But then we're gonna have to pay. We're gonna have to pitch the card in our hand to swing. So yeah, so even though we did run through, this is coming in for 4 damage, I believe. I think he's saying that he activated gloves here, but I don't think he hit on the first attack, so he wouldn't be able to activate gloves, but... Oh no, I'm sorry. No, this should be 5. 5 is perfect. 5, I forgot about Dawnblade's own effect, so it does get +1. So Jamie actually going to take all 5. Has a pretty big grip in his hand from the Crown of Providence. What can he do with that? I mean, you can definitely expect to see some kind of Bravo and dominate. I see another Spinal Crush in his hand, so I think we have enough resources to make a token, also dominate with Bravo, and still swing a Spinal with dominate. It looks like we chose not to activate Bravo, which is a pretty clear indication that we're actually going to get pummeled here. It just is what it is. I don't know if I'm on James's side of the field here. I think this is either make him sort of pay for the fact that he wants to pummel you and just like block 9 here, and you get pummeled, the last card leaves your hand. That's fine. You didn't have go again anyway. Yeah, see, this is exactly, I think, what I would do. You're going to get pummeled here, lose the last card in your hand. That's okay. You're going to take 4, and again, that's okay too. But really, taking 4 is much better than taking 13, right? I mean, you have to keep your life total at kind of a premium here. Yep, taking 4. And discard a card, yep. So James is just going to have to pass his turn. And Bravo's going to have turns like that against you. And you just have to hope that one of these turns coming up just isn't that bad. But I do see a Crippling Crush, and I think I actually see enough blues to pay for it, which is pretty terrible for James. Yep, Crippling Crush coming in for 11. Pretty old staple for... Did I see him lose both Supremacy? I think I did actually see that as well. Yep, both Supremacy are gone. Looks like we're going to actually block 8 here. Only threatening to take 3. Kind of where you want to be. You have to get through these big attacks that are going to cripple your turn. However, we're not out of discretionary blocks yet. Jamie actually drawing up a pretty filthy hand of... And then we actually have a Nourishing Emptiness coming in for 6 and Dominate. Probably will hit. It doesn't have to, though. Jamie could give up a card in both pieces of armor to actually not let this hit. And that might actually be exactly what we're doing here. Nope, just giving up the armor. Still going to let it hit, though. James is going to be able to draw up to 5 cards here. Though I think we're going to see another Dominated Crippling Crush. Or maybe even just a Terra Sunder into a Weapon Sink. Nope, just a Crippling Crush for 11 with 2 floating. That's pretty terrifying if you're on James. If you're on James' side of the table. 2 floating into a crippling crush. You did not give it dominate, and there's a chance you're getting pummeled. I think again you kind of treat this just like the last turn. I think I actually blocked 12 here. Oh, Muck Duck, thank you so much. Stream does look good. We've worked really hard on it, getting it as clean as possible. I think I took out a lot of the extra elements. The camera is really looking good, really looking clean. Still a couple things I want to upgrade to it, get a more professional looking kind of setup here, but this has been a great time so far. James really has to decide here what do I want to do. If it's me, I actually think I block 12 here. Again, he only has so many of these big attacks. It kind of sucks, but while he's giving you the opportunity to not give dominated by it, which could honestly just win him the game. So yeah, if you block 12 here and he pummels you again, that's pummels the last card of your hand once again. I think you're okay with that. You kind of have to be until these big attacks are gone. It's already the second second crippling crush. You're really just worried about the next spinal crush. We are gonna block 9, and of course we do have the pummel, so that makes this 15 to 9 is 6. So it's gonna crippling crush both the cards out of your hand. That's why I would have chosen to give up another card for blocking, because this was gonna happen anyway, and his life would be at 5. So Bravo looking really strong in this format. James has to find something. He really needs Jamie to kind of have like a not so great turn. Blessing and Deliverance, draw a card into a not so great card, but it is a blue. And unfortunately, this is just a weapon swing for 6. And so I do see one of the other cards in Jamie's hand. I do think this is probably going to lock the game up. Once the pummel's in play, it's another pummel. I think it's a blue pummel, but it would bump this to 10. Actually, I don't think it... Yeah, it would bump this to 10. Or it would bump it to 8, but... if it's the blue one, but it just depends on how James decides to block here. It looks like he's gonna block 6, and I think we're gonna die to this pummel here. Yep, there it is. Exactsies for 2. James gets so close, gets to the finals, and unfortunately cannot pull it out. Does lose to Jamie. And fun fact, this was actually James's last round in Swiss, and lost to it there too. It's just a really rough matchup. You have to play it pretty close to perfect, and even then, if the pummels line up for them, they line up for them. But that being said, thank you all for watching. Thank you to all of our competitors who played in our armory this week. I do believe next week is our big... Is it next week? I do believe. Let's go to the beer back screen. That's on there. So that is July 30th. So yeah, next week is the big 1K. So if you guys are in Orlando, if you know anyone in Orlando or anywhere near Central Florida, there is a $1,000 cash prize classic instructed tournament that will be streamed. So even if you are not in Central Florida or wherever you're from, make sure you tune in. We'll be streaming. You'll get to hear my voice, yours truly, casting that entire event. Big 1K. We hope to have a huge turnout. If you're too worried about people not showing up, it's the minimum prize is $1,000. There will be $1,000 in cash handed out next Saturday, no matter how many people show up. So make sure you show up if you can. If not, make sure you tune in, share the stream around, follow us, tell your friends. That being said, that is it for me today. My voice is a little raspy. I did not have enough water. Make sure you hydrate. Stay hydrated out there. It's hot. And thank you all for watching so much from the bottom of my heart.